Hi everyone, today I'm going to be doing a video about embracing intimacy, sensuality and your sexual side. If those are things that you don't really want to know about and you feel you may get offended, this probably isn't the video for you. It's not meant to be just pure sex talk. I mean, sex will come into it, but it's not pure sex talk. It's meant to go a little deeper than that. It's something I've wanted to do a video about probably very early on when I started the channel. But yeah, so as you can see, I've got some visual aids to help me on the table, and I will bring more cards in as visual aids as part of the introduction. I am going to be doing an actual spread after the intro, which will be sort of bringing an awareness to what we need to know regarding intimacy, sensuality and our sexual side, and some guidance as well. So let's get into it. So first of all, as you can see here, I've got the Lovers card. This is one of my favorite Lovers cards from all the tarot decks that I have. You've got the couple here. Often with the Lovers cards, the lovers are far apart from each other. There's distance. In this one, they're together, they're touching each other, they're close, they're looking into each other's eyes. They've got the water there, so that's all the emotion. They've got dolphins behind them, which dolphins, I believe, are considered to be sexual, creative, playful. You've got an angel over there, so it's like a blessed union. So this, in terms of intimacy, intimacy isn't just intimacy in relationships, romantic relationships with other people, is it? It can be intimacy with ourselves. It can be intimacy with friends, family, etc. So one of the key things with intimacy, it's giving and receiving, isn't it? Which this card shows. Giving and receiving, it's sharing, it's getting to know each other. That's how you develop intimacy, and you want to feel safe as well, don't you? So let's move these cards up. This is new to me, so bear with me as I sort of decide how I'm going to do things. So I'm going to move these up here. I've got some more cards that I'm going to put down. So let's put these here as well as we get a little bit more into intimacy, and hopefully they're all visible. Okay, I think I've made a decent amount of space today, so you should be able to see that. Okay. So yeah, so in terms of intimacy, it's our connection with others, and it can be our connection with ourselves as well. There's emotional sharing involved, so sharing of thoughts, feelings, your dreams, your desires, your fears, your weaknesses. Within that, it's like, do you feel safe with that person in expressing those things? Do you feel safe with yourself? Are you honest within yourself, within your self-talk about your thoughts, feelings, dreams, your true desires, your fears, your weaknesses? Do you feel comfortable with those things within yourself? So that's where self-love comes into it, and empathy it's with other people, isn't it? Where you understand where they're coming from. Do you feel safe? Do you feel safe to be open with people, comfortable and validated in what you're sharing with them? Do you feel like they get where you're coming from? That is a part of intimacy and building intimacy with someone. Do you trust them? Do you feel respected? Do you trust and respect yourself in terms of your own intimacy with yourself? So also, and I haven't planned where I'm going to put these cards, so let's put these on top here. So we've got physical touch here, and we have pleasure. So that's another part of intimacy as well. It can be physical touch, and it doesn't just mean sex. It can be cuddles, kisses, massages. It can be just general massages, like stroking someone's head if they've got a headache, or just because it's comforting. It can be sensual massage as well. It can be general affection, and these things you can be affectionate with family members, with friends as well, can't you? You hug friends. I mean, not everybody's a hugger, not everybody's that affectionate. It depends on what you want. But you may hug your friends or your children. If they're upset, you may like to be hugged. You may like someone to hold your hand if you're feeling upset. Those are all forms of intimacy as well. Sometimes it's for physical touch. It should be pleasurable. If it's not pleasurable, then something's wrong. Something's going wrong, isn't it? So that's another part of intimacy. You've got intellectual intimacy as well. So that's where you should hopefully feel safe to share your beliefs, your views, your opinions. Again, whoever you're sharing intimacy with, do you feel that your beliefs and values and opinions are valued and respected? We don't always have to agree with each other, but at the very least, you would like to be respected, wouldn't you? If nothing else, and valued. Its intimacy is also about shared experiences. So, like, think of family members or that you get on well with. Hopefully, all of the experiences you've shared with them that have just brought you closer together. Friends, if you have childhood friends, you've been through all sorts of shit. You may have been through happy times, stress, relationship breakdowns. You may have gone to university or school together or something. Think of all of those experiences that you have, your children, seeing them grow up. Those are all things that are a part of intimacy. And intimacy requires vulnerability, doesn't it? We do have to be vulnerable in that. And again, feeling safe comes into that. But then you can't feel safe first and then be vulnerable, can you? I think we'd like it to be that way, but that's not how it always works. Sometimes you have to be vulnerable first and then you judge whether or not you feel safe. With intimacy, again, it can be sharing secrets. We should hopefully, with people that we have a real genuine bond with, we should be able to share our secrets, the secrets that we want to share, and there should be an equal exchange of listening between us. So yeah, intimacy, it's how we connect, and it's the bond we build using all of these things. It can be like love languages, can't it? So onto sensuality. Do I have any cards for that? I do, but I think I put them with the stuff to do with sexuality. So sensuality, I guess that would be, again, that's physical touch and pleasure, isn't it? It's of the senses, it's pleasure, perception. It can be foreplay. In terms of sensuality, that would be more relating to a romantic type connection, wouldn't it? So again, of the senses, and it isn't just touch, is it? It can be messages, love notes. It can be music, dancing together. You may find food, a sensual activity to share together, feeding each other, those kinds of things. So now we'll move on to the sex component. So I think what I'm going to do is, shall I move these? Should I move these or should I leave them? I think I'm going to have to take these off the table. Otherwise, it's going to be a bit much. I'll leave these ones at the side because these are all a key part of intimacy, sensuality, everything. And just bear with me. There may be moments where I have to pause the video if I feel like I'm going to take too long to get the cards. It might be all right, actually. So here we get into the whole your sexual side part of things. So I have some more cards here that I'm using as a visual aid. So sexual arts. So yes, sex is physical and sometimes it is just sex for the sake of sex. But I think, well, you always get something from it. Hopefully you get pleasure from it at the very least. Or if you don't get pleasure from it, then you decide how you can think about how you do want to get pleasure from it. But sex, it often starts with attraction, desire, there's passion there. Sacred lust that's where you get more into the kind of spiritual side of things with sex. So some people, myself included, consider sex to be a sacred ritual. It's like an expression within a connection or a bond, or it's just pleasure. I mean, it doesn't always work out that way. You don't have necessarily have a spiritual deep connection with everybody that you are sexual with. but it may be something that you want to work towards. And there's no right or wrong here. If you are someone who just doesn't give a shit about spiritual, deep connections with sex, that's fine. But it can be very, very sacred to some. It is an energy exchange, isn't it? I mean, sex can be, it literally can create life. So it is a creative energy. So let me grab my other cards for that if I can reach them. Hopefully I haven't put them too far away. I'm going to rip the mic away from the camera. So yeah, as I was saying, sex can be creative. Where shall I put that actually? I'll put that here. I did say before it was an expression within a bond of how you feel about each other, can't it? And yeah, creative energy, it can literally create life. I thought I'd put an Empress card here because the Empress represents pregnancy a lot of the time, doesn't she? But I haven't. Some people consider sex to be a manifestation type of energy, which I get that, because it's desire, isn't it? Manifestation involves desire. You'll have to do your research on this, but if you want to, but there are rituals that people do involving sex to manifest. I'm not 100% sure how that works, but you know what? I can actually believe it. I think one thing we have to ask ourselves, or can ask ourselves, in terms of our sexual side is there any shame there? Do we feel any shame around our sexual side? Because, you may come from a religious background, or you may come from a family where that's just something you can't talk about. Maybe you grew up with parents who blatantly refuse to even acknowledge that sex exists. That's something that we may want to consider as well. But overall, in terms of intimacy, sensuality, and sex, it can be quite a deep spiritual experience. So it can be part of a deep spiritual connection. It's part of love, an expression of love. It can be something that creates unity between people. So hopefully you found that useful. I'm going to move on to the spread now. I think I'm going to pause because it's going to take me a while to move everything around. So it'll be only a couple of seconds for you, but minutes for me. Okay, so in front of you are some of the oracle decks I'm going to be using for this spread today. The deck I'm using, decks, it's a mixture of the Thelema and Arcanum or Arcanum decks. I love both of those decks, but long ago I felt like there were some cards that I liked more out of each deck, and I kind of took out the ones that I liked more. There were only a few, but for some reason today I felt like I wanted to do that again because of the type of reading that I'm doing, and I felt some of the cards represented the whole intimacy, sensuality and sexual side concept more than others. What I also did is I took the Lover's card from both decks and I've put them together in this deck. It's just something that I felt was worthwhile because in one of the Lover's cards, if they come out, you'll see. The first one you saw in the intro was the one where they're close together, where they've closed the distance between them. And one from the other deck, I can't remember which is which now, there's the distance between them. But for some reason, I just felt like the Lovers needed to be in there twice. It might not even come out. But I'll be using this deck as the clarifier. So that's the hybrid Thelema, Arcanum or Arcanum deck. And I'll be using Spellcaster's deck for the main spread. So let's get into it. And let's see what comes out. So I've kind of developed a spread for this. I have no idea how this is going to work, what's going to come out. So let's just see what happens. But the main focus is just what we need to be aware of. But we'll get an overall energy for intimacy, sensuality, and our sexual side. Let's see what comes out. And hopefully nothing aims for the candle today. As you can see, we've got a red candle there because that can be associated with like passion, sensuality, that kind of thing. And as I say, intimacy, it's not just romantic relationships. We have Knight of Pentacles. Do I want that? I'm going to put that back because I was talking too much. intimacy is not just our romantic relationships. It can be intimacy with ourselves, family members, friends, etc. Right, let me concentrate and stop talking now. So an overall energy for this reading on intimacy, sensuality, and our sexual side. Right, we have the Nine of Wands and the Ace of Swords. And next we'll get one card to show us what we need to be aware of, or what needs to be healed, what needs to be, just anything we need to be made more, to pay more attention to in terms of intimacy. We have the Sun. I can already see a theme here of open, being more open, where we might be kind of restricted or fearful or defensive in terms of intimacy, sensuality, sexual side. Let's get one for the sensuality part of things. So what do we need to be more aware of, or what needs to be healed in terms of sensuality? Page of Pentacles. Again, that's where you only give a little bit, isn't it? So there's a kind of a sense of wariness already in terms of what we give. And obviously this isn't going to resonate for everyone. It might only resonate for no one. It might resonate for one person. Who knows? Hopefully you'll get something useful out of it either way. So one for our sexual side. Six of Wands. That's about being seen, isn't it? I feel, or success, which is what you'd want if you're gonna have sex, wouldn't you want? You want it to be good. And being seen, I suppose is where you want a partner who respects you and values you. Hopefully, we don't all want the same thing, so again, it won't resonate with everyone. So guidance for each of these. So guidance for intimacy for that Sun card. Wow, I don't know if I'm going to take those. Let me have a look what we've got. Oh, we've got too many here. They probably are all valid, but I'd rather get like one card or so and then clarify. Try that again. Any guidance for that Sun card relating to intimacy? The Empress. I always feel this is the Empress as well in that Sun card. In this particular deck, I feel like she's kind of the Empress. Let's get one for sensuality. Any guidance for regarding sensuality? I mean, the Empress is associated with beauty as well, isn't she? And attractiveness. Too many. So sensuality. This may be a long reading, who knows? As usual. Sensuality, please, guidance. This is one slippery deck, I'm telling you. And here we go with that S&M looking card again. Yeah, I always get S&M vibes from this. I mean, look at the image, to be honest. I'm not surprised this has come up because this is about rules, isn't it? The Hierophant can be about rules, traditions, etc. And this is giving me a big sense of holding back here. Holding back on pleasure, possibly. How am I going to put that? Let's spread these out a little bit more. And then hopefully you can see that. So hopefully I've got enough space to put the... Let's move this over here, actually, because I like to put the oracle cards over there. I think that's a little bit better, isn't it? So right, finally, a guidance card for your sexual side element of things. Something wanted to come out. It was the Emperor, but I'm not going to take it because it didn't quite come out. They're kind of jumping, but not quite. So Six of Wands, guidance for your sexual side. Nope. Probably not a good idea to use such a slippery deck for this. Right, Seven of Swords as guidance for that card. Let's get some oracle cards as well now. So we'll start off with the power of surrender. And as I say, the oracle cards, I've got no idea what's going to come out. So it could end up being some random thing that seems like it has nothing to do with anything. But we'll find out. So any messages regarding intimacy, sensuality, and our sexual side. Surrender the habit of people pleasing. That's an interesting one. Let's get one from the Heal Yourself deck. I don't know whether to do this on camera because I feel like the card's going to fly into the candle again. Hang on, let me try and make myself more comfortable. That might help. There we go. I don't know if that helps, but... Right, where's that gone? Alchemy. Okay. Ooh, look how the purple colours match. I don't know what that's going to mean yet, but we'll see. And I will need to read the message from that because I'm not sure how it will fit. I know what the card means, but I don't know how it will fit within this reading. We'll get a card from the Le Vampires book as well. So anything else we need to be aware of regarding intimacy, sensuality, and our sexual side? I may have to shuffle off screen or stand up, I think, because this is feeling very awkward to shuffle. Anti-hero. Another one wanted to come out. What was it? Discipline. But I'm not going to take that one. I don't know if I trust that. We'll leave it. And finally, we'll get one card from the Power of Love. I haven't decided if I'm going to use any other cards at the end from the Oracle decks for advice. We'll see what we get. So let me just give that another shuffle first. Anything else we need to know here? Thank God that came out easily. Tolerance and ownership. Okay. So hopefully those are all clear and you can see them clearly. Let's read these messages first and then we'll get into the reading. So, surrender the habit of people pleasing. Speak your needs and be true to yourself. Focus on your own happiness instead of always trying to make everyone else happy. And I can see how that would fit in because, as I said, there was something here. I'm picking up an energy of kind of holding back. You've got the Nine of Wands there, which can be quite defensive. The Ace of Swords is your truth, your expression, expressing yourself, isn't it? We've got the Page of Pentacles, where I think I've said before that for me, sometimes that means it's where you only give a little bit. Yes, it can be planting a new seed, but for me, it can also be where you give a little bit. You've got the Hierophant there, which can be restrictions, rules. I mean, you've got it next to the Pleasure card and with the Page of Pentacles as advice. So to me, that says open up more. Seven of Swords. Sometimes for me, that can be about being true to yourself. There's something about image here with the Six of Wands as well, but we'll clarify it. You've got the Sun here. This was intimacy. That tells me there's something about needing to open up more. And I suppose that will attract what you need if you open up more. Let's look at the Alchemy card. So this is the Alchemy card here. The artwork in this deck is absolutely stunning. I absolutely love it. So Alchemy 25. I may move those cards around a little bit actually, because why cover up such beautiful artwork? So let's put these here. And put these here instead. I think I'm happy with that. So Alchemy 25. It says the path you are on is about to go through a very powerful transformation. Nothing is how it seems. You have an opportunity to take a big leap in your level of consciousness. It is extremely important that you focus on letting go of any negativity and beliefs, which could potentially be that Hierophant there, maybe the Seven of Swords as well, that no longer serve you. You have access to the energy of alchemy, which can transform the most challenging experiences into incredible gifts and miracles. Meditate and take action on your highest goals and dreams. They are on their way to coming true. Let go of your expectations. What is about to appear can surpass anything you have dreamed of. The most important part is that you are prepared and ready to receive. The energy around you is very potent at the moment, so make sure that you are using this time as productively as possible. Give yourself time for prayer, gratitude, and celebration. This sounds like creation, manifestation kind of energy. So I would say, what do you want to create in terms of your connections, romantic and non-romantic, with other people, in terms of your sex life? What do you want to create in terms of your sex life? You have the powers in your hands, but I think there is something here about needing to express it and probably being more open about things. Let's look at that anti-hero card, number 18. This will be a bit longer. So Maverick, Risk Taker, Rule Breaker. I can see that there's probably rules that need to be broken here with the Hierophant there. It says, you are doing a good thing, but it is unlikely you will wear the garland of the hero or be recognized for any real contribution to the greater good. You are not the kind of being who people acknowledge, and it has been this way for a long time. This is because most people are trained to recognize what looks good from appearances, the kind of jobs people have, and the way you humans even walk and talk. And the human being you are, is something that cannot be identified and classified simply. But the truth is that you have done a very good thing. You are a safe person, a good one. We can sense this from you. And we wish to acknowledge the valor and the brightness that surrounds you. The deed that you have done will not be recognized as soon as you would wish, but the impact it has will ripple out through the energy of the world. And in return, you will be noticed by many, many who will also never quite fit in or be recognized, despite the good they do. Do not take this to heart. Do not allow this to ever prevent you from doing what you are urged to do, and do not allow all the moments where you have been unlike your best self to define you. You are a mixture of what people call good and bad, and what is taking place now is a kind of working your way through what you feel you must do to rebalance the ledger in life. This does not mean you will ever receive an award or be offered a hand to shake. You may even fail to be recognized again and again, but now we see you, and so many others see you too. That's that Six of Wands, isn't it? You will find that creatures who are less socialized will trust you and come to you. The young animals, creatures whose senses are more alert and who rely on feeling rather than what they see. You are a truly beautiful soul in parts, and yes, you have done things that have been called wrong and were, but humans are complex, and they enjoy calling you wrong, for they then feel superior, and they draw attention to their supposed goodness. All are the sum of their actions and their choices within their circumstances. Even the roughest and most humble among us can become the hero, and those who are greatest and most seen to do good often are glorifying in their own virtues. Do not fear, you are a walker of the night, and yet your time will come. You will inspire love. You are more than those who cannot see you say you are. Their voices are empty. Your life, although strange, is full. The blessing says you are displaying to humans who are thinking too much in boxes, Hierophant again, with labels, that those who do good are not always going to fit a cultural stereotype. The curse part of the message says to feel neglect, to feel resentment that others receive the glory of your deeds. Perhaps you know you have chosen this way in order to remain an outsider, so you need not enter into groups in the same way. You are in a stage where you are working very strongly with your unique energy and power. Working with this card, your individuality is a gift from the divine. You are the only person on the planet like you. You truly are here for a purpose, and you truly are needed here. No matter how modest this purpose, do it well with all your heart, and there will be no more loneliness. Bloody hell, that was deep. So what can I take from that? There's a few things that were running through my mind as I was reading it. One of the first things would be, because I think it mentioned mistakes, and then we've got ownership here. So So some of us have a sexual past, don't we? And it may be something that we're not proud of, and there may be judgment around that. That still sits with us today. So that may be something that we need to overcome. What else was I getting about that? It may be where you, on the surface, you appear to be a sweet, innocent person, but you may have a really kinky sexual side, for want of a better word, and that's something you want to express, but maybe you feel held back. Maybe you are, or maybe it's the opposite. Maybe you are quite sexually active and expressive and free, and you feel judged for that. That's a few different ways of looking at that. There was something else that came into my head, and for the life of me, I can't remember it now. It's gone. I think it's gone. Maybe you need to break a few rules. Maybe you are a rule breaker, or maybe you do need to break some. Maybe in a relationship you want to explore your sexuality more, but maybe you have a partner who is not on the same page as you. That could be something that comes up as well. There's a few ways it could go. So tolerance says you appreciate other points. Is that got a glare on it? A little bit. Of view, because you sense the love in everyone. That kind of goes with that anti-hero card to me. I mean, I would say it may be more you seeking tolerance from other people, but maybe you need to be a bit more open-minded with other people as well. Oh, what I was going to say, yeah, I remember what I was going to say. Now, in terms of spirituality, when we are quite spiritual people and we're all about love and light and all that business, it's like there's something where it's like, well, you can't be sexual. Why not? Is sex dirty? I mean, some people may think that, but there is this sort of thing where it's like, oh no, you've got to be an angel, you've got to be innocent, you've got to be celibate. You're not allowed to have a sexual side because sex will, I don't know, interfere with your spirituality or something. But as I said, for some, it's a sacred ritual, it's an energy exchange, it's creative energy. It can be spiritual as well. There was another point I was going to make, and that's bloody gone out of my head again now. Let me look at this ownership card and see if I can remember what it was. Ownership, I don't know if you can see that. You acknowledge your misdeeds and accomplishments alike and learn to love them all as lessons. So again, there's two ways that can go. It can be now you need to own your sexual side, maybe if it's something that you haven't explored, or if you've done things in the past that you're not proud of sexually, like maybe you had a lot of one night stands, and this is no judgment on any of that, I'm just giving examples. You maybe had a lot of one night stands, maybe you had to use your sexuality to earn a living or to advance in a career or something like that. It's owning those things and kind of removing the shame, or if any self-forgiveness is required, maybe self-forgiveness around yourself. Maybe you, and this might trigger warning now, it's not a nice one to bring into it, but if there was any sexual abuse or anything to that effect, there may be something there that's making me feel really sad. Jesus, why did I bring that up? Yeah, if there was sexual abuse in your past, or even in your recent past, it's about not ownership as in taking blame, because nobody deserves that. That's nobody's fault. But sort of addressing that now and healing from that potentially. And I still can't remember the point I was gonna make with regard to spirituality and sexuality. I can't remember what it was now. That's gonna bother me. I'm just gonna pause one moment and see if I can remember what it was. Okay, I've remembered what it is now. It's to do with spiritual connections. So I think I've seen where some people have said that because they have a twin flame or a soulmate or etc., that they are not allowed to have sex with anybody else. And yeah, I can understand how you would feel that way if you feel that you have that kind of connection of with someone. And I'm not talking about when you're actually in a relationship with them. I mean, like, just the connection, like you might be in separation or whatever. Some people feel that it's wrong for them to have sex with anyone else, or even have a relationship with anyone else. And yeah, I do get that, but I don't know, you have to judge it for yourself. Say if you feel you've got a twin flame, you've had nothing to absolutely fuck all to do with them, pardon the language, for like 5 years, 10 years maybe. If you feel like you want intimacy, you want to explore your sensuality, you want sex, plain and simple. Why deprive yourself? And yeah, obviously if you don't feel comfortable doing that with someone other than the person you feel that deep connection with, fair enough, use your own discernment. If you know it's going to end up making you feel like shit, then don't do it. But why deprive yourself, especially if there's literally been no contact with that person? And sort of, it's like putting, I don't want to say putting your eggs in one basket, because that is far beyond that when it's spiritual. But would you like to at least give yourself the opportunity to explore intimacy and pleasure with someone else? Or do you really just want to hold on to this thing of, nope, I've got a twin flame, can't touch anyone else, can't be with anyone else, can't kiss anyone else, can't do anything with anyone else ever, it's that one person? That's something that you may have to consider. Right, so let's get into clarifying these cards now. Yeah, some of that went a bit deeper than I expected it to, but I guess it's not a bad thing. So the main theme or thing for us to focus on, the overall energy, was the Nine of Wands and Ace of Swords, which I said could potentially about where you may be defensive, you may be protective towards yourself about expressing yourself in terms of intimacy, sensuality, sexuality. And again, the intimacy part can be with anyone, friends, new people that you meet in general, family, etc. And then obviously when it's sensuality, sexuality, it's more on the romantic side of things. So clarifiers for the Nine of Wands and Ace of Swords, and hopefully the cards come out easily and don't hit the candle. Clarifiers for the Nine of Wands and Ace of Swords, please. All right, let me just move my chair because I am not actually that comfortable right now, so that does not help the situation, does it? There we go. That might make things a little bit easier for me. Just trying to make sure that my head isn't in there. Six of Swords, yes, I will take that, and I'm still deciding where I'm going to put them. Yeah, I'm going to put it here because it's clarifying that top row. Anything else for the Nine of Wands and Ace of Swords? And we have that Page of Pentacles again, where he's only giving a tiny little bit. Yeah, Nine of Wands again. He's reluctant. To me, it feels like he's reluctant. He's protecting himself. He's had a rough time, and he's feeling very wary, to be frank. There may have been things that you've had to go and find your peace in the past in situations. Or that may be just your thoughts that are holding kind of fears about what will happen. The moon can be fears, hidden emotions. It's someone going into the unknown. You have the Four of Wands there as well. So there may be questions about whatever it is in terms of whether it's expressing yourself to others or exploring your sensuality and sexuality. You may be concerned about it being stable. Let me do just that Four of Wands on its own. Clarify the Four of Wands on its own, please. Yeah, so yeah, Four of Wands, it can be a celebration card, and Three of Cups can be a celebration type energy as well. So will things work out for the better? I would say if you open up to people, if you explore your sexuality with people, will there be pleasure? Will it be happy? It's the unknown, isn't it? But you don't know unless you try. That's the title of one of the readings I've done for the monthlies. But you want peace. You would want peace. You want it to be peaceful. You don't want to have any mental stress. So I'm going to move those up there. And this is at present how I am laying things out. But we'll see. So in terms of intimacy, so what we need to be aware of, the Sun. Again, I said opening up. I mean, obviously happiness. You would want to gain happiness from being intimate, sexually or non-sexually, and there is a sense of needing to open up as well. Let's clarify that Sun card first of all. So for the Sun, ooh, the Lovers, and my favorite Lovers card as well. I would say that means to open up. If you want to connect, you're going to have to open up. We'll put that on the bottom row here. Anything else for that Sun card? Be open to connecting as well with people. And the lovers is often seen, like it was known as the choice traditionally. It can be seen as literal romantic connections, but connections, it's a deep connection, isn't it? The lovers, it's a deep connection. It's something that you love, whether it's a person, a thing, a path, whatever. So it doesn't have to be romantic. It can be a deep connection with a pet. You know what I mean? I don't mean that in any sexual kind of way. I just mean like a pet, a child. People have deep bonds with their kids, with their parents, family members, sisters, brothers, friends, anyone. Being open to connections and expressing yourself openly, shining your light. Don't hold back who you are. Let's get more on that. We have the Knight of Cups and we have the Page of Wands. Yeah, so that's exploration. I would say don't be afraid of sex with this as well, with the lovers. Don't be afraid of sex. Share your dreams, I would say, with the Knight of Cups. Because sharing your dreams is part of intimacy, isn't it, with people? Don't be afraid to share your dreams and explore and see what happens. We can't guarantee what the outcome will be. He's got his wand there, and he's ready to explore. I'll just get one more for that, but that one's quite a simple one, and that was for intimacy. Explore connections. Don't be afraid to explore connections with people and make it clear what you want, what your hopes are within that. The lovers again. I had a feeling they'd both come out, but this is where they're getting closer. There's a tiny bit of distance between them. I'm assuming that's like Cupid's arrow. Is that wings they've got? They've both got wings. Wow. Yeah, it looks like they've both got wings actually. I feel like it's saying that the more open you are, the deeper the connections that you experience will be. So if you are somebody who wants a soulmate, twin flame, etc., whatever, the more open you are, the more expressive you are, the more willing to explore and share your dreams and be open to your dreams you are, the deeper the connections will be that you get. I had a feeling both of the lovers cards would come out, but I didn't think they'd come out this quickly within the reading. See the comparison between them. I mean, these two are getting closer. It looks like they're about to kiss, but they've got a little bit of distance there that needs to be closed. And intimacy is what would bring them closer together, in all its forms: emotional, intellectual, physical, etc. So I'm going to leave that there. Let me just see what's on the bottom of the deck, if it's relevant. Three of Pentacles, collaboration. So that's where you bring the connection together. Let's put these here. It's like I'm already giving the advice without even looking at the advice, really, isn't it? But the Empress, she is known as being generous, isn't she? She's attractive, she's abundant. So as I say, opening up supports that, what you pull in, doesn't it? Let's clarify the Empress, even though it feels like it's not really necessary, but we'll do it anyway. Okay. Which one first? We'll do that one. Seven of Wands. Yeah, again, it's... Okay, let me do this first. Yeah. Right, so these two together, this particular Four of Pentacles and the Seven of Wands together, I always feel in this deck, like with that Seven of Wands, she's protecting something that's sacred. So there is a sense of knowing your worth, knowing your values in here. And again, with this Four of Pentacles, I know the Four of Pentacles is often about being stuck, holding on, etc. But this one, it's more like she's protecting what's valuable. She's got a key there. She's really protecting what's valuable. So definitely know your worth. I mean, the Empress 100% knows her worth. So protect yourself, protect what's sacred, but still put the effort in, still try to connect with people. And then King of Swords, discernment. be very honest and expect honesty as well. and you'll be fine. You just have to be open to begin with in the first place. Be open and then use your discernment after. You can't have a guarantee and then be like, oh yeah, I'm going to do it because it's a guarantee. You have to try it and then figure out if it's right. And I will check the bottom of the deck, and we have strength, courage to open up with people. And I know it's easier said than done. It can be scary, not just romantically, but if you've had friends that always take advantage of you, family members that have always treated you like shit, it is scary. But closing yourself off won't help. It won't change anything. If you do genuinely want change, then you will have to open up. So let's look at that Page of Pentacles. That is for your sensuality. So that's giving just a little bit to me. But let's clarify that Page of Pentacles. High Priestess. So I'll put this on the bottom as well. Anything else for that Page of Pentacles? Three of Wands. And I'm now starting to look at the clock, just counter on the camera just to make sure, because I'm sure it'll cut off at some point and then restart, hopefully. Anything else for that Page of Pentacles? Got something flipped then. Do I take those? We'll take them. So we have the Seven of Swords, King of Cups, the Wheel, and the Five of Swords. Right, so this to me, and while I was shuffling that, my eyes kept on being drawn to the people that surrender the habit of people-pleasing card. I'm going to get cut off any moment, so if any words are missing, then that's why. Yeah, the surrender the habit of people-pleasing card. For me, this Five of Swords is that it's that yeah, it just paused and it's restarted. It can be that defeat card, possibly where people take advantage of you, or where they get what they want but you don't get what you want, and this is in terms of sensuality. The High Priestess may be where can be secrets, can't it? This one in particular really looks like she's keeping secret information, secret knowledge. This can be where you don't, it's love languages is coming to mind, where you don't kind of, I mean, you may not even know what your love language is, to be honest. That may be something you need to look up. And it's where you are keeping it to yourself what you need. Maybe you're only giving a bit, or you're just not sharing what it is you want. I mean, Three of Wands is where you want your ships to come in. You may have put your intentions out and you want your ships to come in. But with that Seven of Swords, you may not be 100% honest about what it is you need in terms of sensuality. And we said again that sensuality is to do with, it's of the senses, isn't it? It's perception. Maybe you love hugs and you have a partner who doesn't hug very much, but for some reason you don't tell them that and you just accept whatever they give you. Maybe you like kissing a lot, maybe they don't and you haven't told them. Maybe you like sex a lot and you haven't said that. You are keeping, it's like you're keeping your feelings to yourself about what you want, what you need. This Wheel of Fortune may be here to say that you may have to be a little bit more ruthless with that. I mean, for some reason recently I'm taking that Five of Swords a lot more as needing to be selfish, but as a necessity, not just to be an asshole. More because your needs aren't being met, so you have to be more blunt and assertive. That's the word, assertive. It's more of an assertive energy than just being a complete arsehole. And then if your needs aren't being met, then you may have to be quite firm. Or say if you had a partner who just wasn't giving you what you need in any way, shape or form, do you want to continue in that relationship? Are you happy to settle for what's there? Can you work on it? Or is it just a lose-lose situation? It's like, nope, gotta let it go. Again, surrender the habit of people pleasing. It says, speak your needs and be true to yourself. Focus on your own happiness instead of always trying to make everyone else happy. Do you focus more on giving to them? Is that why you've only got one little pentacle? Because all of your energy goes elsewhere. So that's for sensuality. Let's look at the advice. So there is something here as well about so the people pleasing. It may not be a partner. It may be in terms of tradition. Maybe you feel that the needs that you have are a bit over the top, possibly, or too, well, yeah, over the top. That's the only word I can think of. And you sort of trapped in sticking with the rules. Maybe you feel that maybe you were brought up in a religious background and it's like, oh, we can only have sex once a week and do missionary, and you want something more than that, so you're sticking by a kind of tradition. Maybe you are somebody who wants to engage in a polygamous or polyamory type situation, and tradition is against that. And I'm not judging either way. Obviously we all have our own preferences in those kind of things, but I'm just giving an example. We have freedom of choice, free will to do whatever we want. Maybe you are somebody who doesn't want to commit and you like just exploring different sexual partners, but tradition and the rules of society say, nope, you're a tramp if you do that. Sorry to talk like that. This is not me judging. This is me giving examples. But there's something with rules here that may be holding you back from your pleasure. So Hierophant, let's clarify the Hierophant. So this is advice. Let's clarify the Hierophant and the Nine of Cups together as advice. You have the power to do whatever you want, to manifest whatever you want. You don't have to follow the rules to do that. When it comes to your pleasure, you don't have to follow rules. Ace of Wands, that's like a spark of passion. It is a very phallic looking, and there's another card that I thought would come out that hasn't yet actually, that's very phallic, and we'll see if it comes out. Yeah, that's very phallic. Give yourself permission to pursue your desires, what you desire, to express what you desire as well, and create what you desire. You don't have to stick to anybody else's rules. Why have I turned that way? It's because I'm looking at the other cards that way. Anything else? The Star, that's your wishes, your hopes, what you want. Shall we get one more? And the Nine of Cups is on the bottom as well. Five of Cups, that would be disappointment, shame. Even when I was sorting through the cards and took this out to sort which ones I wanted in this deck that I've put together, the hybrid, this one very much felt like shame. Shame in terms of what you desire. I'm going to have to get one more after that now. Can't resist it, got to get another one. And that's with the anti-hero card, isn't it, as well? Potential shame around maybe past experiences. Maybe there could be shame, obviously around what you desire, but maybe there's shame where you may have invested too much time and energy into situations that weren't satisfying for you, and you feel like you've wasted a lot of time. Or you may feel shame about following the rules when you don't want to. It's on the bottom. Okay, just Temperance on the bottom. That's about to me it's like connections, but it's more of a harmonious connection. So the advice would be the Magician, really, wouldn't it? Throw the rule book out and use your power to get what it is will give you pleasure in terms of your sensuality and what you need. Let's look at the Six of Wands as sexuality. So I did say initially, this could be the whole exploring sexual relationships card, or if not, if it's just you, it's about getting what you need, being seen, being valued sexually, because we should be valued. Well, I think a lot of us would like to be valued sexually, wouldn't we? In terms of being respected. We're not just someone's toy, someone's plaything, and our needs are valued as well. And you know that I usually don't like the word options, but for some reason the word options is coming to mind with these people, having a choice of who we a fair choice of who we engage with sexually as well, not just having to settle. That's weird. I never like using the word options to talk about people. It doesn't feel nice saying it like that. Opportunities, but the word options is coming to mind. I don't know why. Maybe it means options in terms of trying out exploring different things. So maybe it's with one person that you're exploring different things sexually to see what you like. Maybe there's kinks that you want to look into, and it's seeing what feels good in terms of that and being honest about that, because you've got the Seven of Swords there. Let's clarify the Six of Wands. So we have, be honest. We've got the Ace of Swords here twice. Be honest about what you want. Six of Cups, that is like nostalgia, isn't it? Maybe there was something that you did in the past that you really liked and you haven't been able to relive that. Oh, that's not good, because you shouldn't really... Who wants to be thinking about someone else when they're with their current partner? But it happens, doesn't it? Okay, let's get another one for that. The Six of Wands. Knight of Wands. Then it may be that in the past, maybe you were quite passionate, feisty, maybe you had a more active sex life, and then as time has gone on, it's a bit of a dry spell, who knows, and you just... Because she looks very nostalgic there, doesn't she? You're thinking about that, or there's a person, a Knight of Wands person from the past, where it's kind of like, oh, I wish I could have that again. And it may not have been someone that you were in love with or something. It could have even been like a one-night stand, but it was just like, wow, that was amazing, I wish I could relive that. Oh, there is the Three of Swords here, so it is someone that potentially could have hurt you in the past. But let's get another card for that. I'm getting a sense of fantasy here as well in that Six of Cups, whether it is someone that you were with in the past or just general fantasies. So which one? I'm going to put the Page of Cups here first, because that feels along the lines of playfulness. Yeah, playfulness. And then next to the Knight of Wands as well, it's playfulness. Maybe that's something that you want. You don't want it to be deadly serious, or even if you are in a committed relationship, you want to go back to that sense of playfulness and passion that was there before. That's looking at options again, the word options. This is the first time in a reading that I'm using the word options. But it's options for pleasure, isn't it? How can we make this more pleasurable? How can I make this more pleasurable? How can I get more pleasure? Let's get one more card for that. Strength. I'd say that's about having the courage. That can be attraction as well, can't it? There may be something about bondage here with the chains. Let's get one more after that. The Emperor, that makes sense, and I can't explain what I'm thinking, but it makes sense somehow. Something about taming. It could potentially be one message that's coming up here. Right, the Lion would be the masculine, I'm assuming she's the Empress, would be the feminine. Maybe you have a partner and it's potentially all about them and their needs, and there's kind of a sense of wanting to tame them in a way so that they're more vulnerable and they're more aware of your needs. Or maybe that's just not a specific partner, but in general, you just want people to be more aware of your needs and to see what you want, because the Emperor can be quite stubborn and is very much about my way or the highway. I mean, whenever I see the Emperor and the Nine of Pentacles together, it's always like, I want her, and it's not gender specific, but it's like, yep, I get what I want that, I'm gonna get her, kind of energy. Like he said, admiring her, but he wants to control her as well, because the Emperor can be a controlling energy. I'll get one more for that. It can also be the Strength card, so it can be attraction. Maybe that's something you desire. Maybe you want to feel more attractive to others. You want to be seen more as attractive, and have options. Again, I hate saying that word, opportunities with people. I hate it. I mean, the ones are passion, aren't they? And again, maybe it's that you want to tame that other energy, let's say masculine energy, so that you can get what you want as well. Sexually, Five of Pentacles, disappointment. It's physical disappointment, isn't it? Oh God, there's a card that isn't coming up that I thought would come up. You've got the Devil on the bottom of the deck. That would be like selfish kind of energy, where someone gets all the pleasure, and and you don't really. Let's put these on that 6 and see if we can get some guidance on how to guidance with that particular issue. I mean, there's a 7 of Swords. You would need honesty for a start. You would need to be honest about what you want. You can't hold back. You need to be willing to take a risk. I think this whole thing is about honesty, isn't it? 7 of Swords. The card I thought was going to come up hasn't, but I will probably show it to you if it doesn't come out. 7 of Swords. That's connection. And again, it's like the whole harmonious side of connection. And it's a sharing as well, isn't it? Sharing equally, so one person isn't getting all the pleasure, because that would feel like a burden if one person's getting all the pleasure. It's like you've got all that passion there. Sorry, my phone was ringing and I got a little bit distracted. I don't know who that is. You've got all that passion there, and it would be a burden if someone else, and it's frustrating, isn't it? If you're with someone, they're getting all of the pleasure and then you end up high and dry. That would be, I'm sorry to be so, well, I'm not sorry, but to be blunt, to put it bluntly, it would be very very burdensome and very frustrating, and it would hurt. It would hurt, especially if it's a committed or long-term partner that you just feel you're not getting your desires fulfilled with. Anything else? We have the Queen of Cups, so that's about emotional expression, so expressing what you need. Let's get another one for that. The Hermit. This would be where you may need to explore what for yourself, what it is you want emotionally. Yeah, what it is you need emotionally, intellectually, everything, to be satisfied sexually. It can be about expression of emotion, but it's, for me, it feels more reflective about what you need. Is there anything do you need to heal from pain? Are you potentially using sex as a weapon? With that card of wanting lots of attention, with the 6 of Wands, why, if it is about wanting attention and to be seen, why do you want so much attention? I mean, yes, we all want to be seen, we all want to be found attractive, but is there an underlying pain in that, where maybe you were hurt with someone and you're using sex now to kind of cope with that pain? Is that a possibility? Let's get one more. Oh dear, that's gone on the floor, so just bear with me. We have the 9 of, yeah, there's some anxiety here, some stress here. I'll get one more. I know I'm getting a lot of clarifiers, but I'm trying to get as clear a message as possible. Maybe you're anxious about, yeah, okay. First of all, 9 of Swords, maybe you are anxious about expressing yourself sexually, or anxious about getting what it is you need. On the other hand, what I just said about maybe using sex to kind of get over heartbreak, is it really that you want the 10 of Cups? You want emotional fulfillment, you want the whole package, not just sex, and you're just giving yourself to sex at the moment, and that's causing some anxiety, possibly. So the advice here is be honest about what you really want. If you have to do a bit of introspection about what you feel, what you need, etc., that's where that might come in. So I can't remember every single thing that I said here, but I definitely got a sense of being honest about what you want and what your needs are. Yeah, that's the main theme, isn't it? Just being honest, being willing to express, being open, and that will bring in connections. Don't people please, don't just do things to please others. Make sure you're making your needs known. If there's anything that you need to heal from, be aware of that, and just remember that you have the power to get what it is you need. Do I want to get any more cards of advice? I feel like I've wrapped it up enough. There's nothing else to say, really, is there? I hope you enjoyed that and found it useful. I definitely did. I've been wanting to do it for ages, but I've been a bit reluctant. It was a bit nerve-wracking, but I'm really happy with how it's turned out. So yeah, hopefully you found that useful. Feel free to leave comments, anything at all that you want to say. I'm happy to hear your stories, your experiences, if you want to share anything that might be useful with anyone else. But thank you again for watching, and take care.